Yeah, we're not in a hurry to do that. I don't think so.
Let me know. In 2 years.
I'll make sure. We're Farmington tonight. Maybe. So then I'll be available tomorrow. So then I'll be on site first thing in the morning if I can get on.
We'll see. I'm gonna babysitting early. I gotta do artwork. Don't worry about it.
We're it was scheduled last fall. Why you?
I'm moving.
Are you? Where are you moving to?
The sooner the better.
I'm saying that too, but yeah, here I am.
Yeah, but I've already got other jobs lined up. I've had it up here with the neighborhood. I've had it up here with officials, and they're needing somebody to handle this not very long. I was telling you, 49 years. I'm still outside.
I've known you for probably 40. So.
I'm outside. I don't know anybody.
Well, I don't know hardly anybody on our street anymore. So. Yeah, that's about what I know. I know Greg, he lives on the corner. Yeah. It's not even on. I don't need it on. My voice is big. Thick. It's because those ordinances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joey, we got 3 ordinances. I'll be on.
I know. I just ordered a bunch more. This is what happens at bedtime. I just. I'm feeling I got a lot of shoes.
Okay. Last week I had so much better.
That's been a long minute.
I'm going.
All right, we're close enough. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Nancy, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Gillis?
Here.
Smith. Here. Bobs.
Here.
Lemon.
Here.
Rose.
Here.
Cruzen. Here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Everybody's had a chance to read the meeting. If there is any questions, we'll answer them, or otherwise I will take a motion to approve.
So moved. And second.
A motion by Joey, a second by Dave Rose. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That will carry. We have no correspondence this evening, which leads us straight into the Public Works report. Dave?
Yes, sir. Are there any questions on the public work reports? Not a real exciting time, other than cutting grass. I'm ready to go through it. Yes, sir.
Are you keeping track of the properties, how often you mow the properties that aren't ours?
Chris and I talked about it today, and we're getting a list compiled of
Okay.
properties. I can't really go and mow properties until they contact them, because if I go on, I'm trespassing. So
But when you do, will you keep me a list of how many times we are, please?
I have been keeping the list, the ones that we are doing already, I will keep you a list of them.
Very good, thank you.
Stop signs on Apple Street. Had a little trouble getting your twirler, whatever you want to call
I
them.
don't remember what I called them that day.
We won't go there.
The tassels, if you will.
There you go. I did get them in Friday, so we're gonna put them in this week.
All right, very good.
Nobody has any questions? I don't have anything special.
Motion to approve the Public Works report. Second.
I have a motion by Joey, a second by Nate to approve the City of Farmington Public Works report for 5/15/23. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Herb, that brings it to you.
Right here. We had a regular monthly meeting of the cemetery board, and you can see our income and expenses. We did get a deposit of $200. It was a memorial for Mary Van Peterson. We are going to start the fence project on August 1st, and they'll start on the Lozier side of the cemetery first. We are gonna need some help taking the fence down, the old fence. Getting it out of the ground, 'cause according to John, the cement balls are enormous. So we are gonna need some help with that. Excuse me. We are going to offer the fence, the old fence, for not for sale, but as a donation. And our suggested donation by section is going to be $25 each. And that was made by a motion by Tim and seconded by Tim Ohm and seconded by Ted Anderson. We are very grateful for the TIF people approving our 75% award of $33,000, because our fencing project is going to be a $44,000 project for phase 1 and 2. And then secondly, the CDC asked us to come up with a plan and phases for the cemetery. And I've outlined some of the things that we've talked about, moving the small pillars, moving the large pillars. The high school we have been in contact with on the fence, new gates rather. Bologna, house moving, are looking at getting those pillars out of the ground and moving them for us. Our biggest concern is if we move them and we break them, what do we do? And that's still in discussion. We are going to paint the ceiling in the mausoleum. And we're going to get rid of the pink and turn it to ceiling white. There was a little leak, and it did cause some damage to the paint right inside the door. So we are going to get that done, and hopefully we'll have that done before Memorial Day, because the mausoleum will be open.
Who's gonna do that?
Paint it?
Yeah, who's gonna,
So far, Tim and I.
okay.
Is that a problem?
No, I didn't have to need any help or, how high is that, 12 feet, 15 feet?
Oh, at least, I haven't measured it, but it's high.
Well, if you need some help.
There's scaffolding in there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
Oh.
scaffolding, movable scaffolding, and I assume that's
okay.
for putting caskets in the mausoleum.
I don't see so.
Yeah, but we're gonna roll that.
Right, if you need some help, just. call.
Okay, well, thank you so much, we appreciate that. So anyhow, then, we have talked about our different phases, and phase 1 and 2 is gonna be our fence line from Vernon Street to Lozier property, from Lozier property to the end of the property line, going south. And then we also are gonna do phase 2, which is from the new entrance to or the old entrance to the new entrance on Wall Street, and from the other side of the entrance to the property line. We're not gonna do behind the old school this time, it's just too expensive for us to do right now. So that'll be, phase, phase 3, and we're calling that Vernon Street, just because it's gonna run parallel to Vernon. Then we have the Wall Street entrance we'll be working on in phase 4, and then the 4th Street. So then we have discovered, or we've been notified, that there are vehicles driving around the tree to get to the new entrance, just to cut through. So we were gonna put caution tape on steel posts from the fence line to the entrance on both sides on Wall Street. I hope that'll stop it. I know where 4 steel posts are. We need 4 more steel posts to lay those across, or not, just to drive them into the ground across there.
You got any steel posts?
Yeah, but I'm not in favor of putting steel poles across there. We drive our big 17-foot backwood through there and mow as we come through there.
We're gonna put caution tape up, and the caution tape can come down pretty darn easily.
But every time we mow weekly, we're not gonna take the caution tape down, mow, go back, cut the caution tape up. Kind of defeats the purpose of having an open area, big 17-foot backwood.
What do you suggest?
Leave it the way it is. I haven't seen hardly any tracks of any vehicles going through there.
But David, there's one person.
All right, so we'll have that discussion
All right, we'll talk
offline,
about
so.
that. Anyhow, that's all we have. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any further questions for her?
Motion to approve the Oak Ridge Sanitary monthly report.
Have a motion by Joey, a second by Dave to approve Oak Ridge Cemetery Board of Managers report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That will carry. Brings us to old business, and we have some old business. We have ordinance 2023-08 amending chapter 7, and I would,
I'd like to make a motion, we read it by title only. Ordinance number 2023-08.
thank you, Joey. Is there a second? Second by Alex to read City of Farmington ordinance number 2023-08 by title only. That is a roll call, please.
Boggs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, this is City of Farmington ordinance number 2023-08, an ordinance amending Title 7 Health and Sanitation, Chapter 5 nuisances. And for ways of further explanation, this is please clean up after your dog ordinance.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the second reading of ordinance number 2023-08.
A motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Rose. That is a roll call, please.
Boggs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2023-08.
I have a motion. Is there a second to approve ordinance? By Jenny Cruzen. Please, that's a roll call, please.
Boggs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. What we'll do is, in 10 days, this will be valid. We'll make sure that we publish something into the weekly news, and I think we figured out our website. We'll get it up there as well. That concludes all of our old business. That brings us into new business. First item under new business is a discussion possible action for the CEDC recommendations. This is the CEDC met Monday, May 1st. After discussion, here are the following recommendations. There were 2 commercial grants that were approved by the CEDC, one to SE Lilly for $8,704.50 for window replacement, and the other is the Batterton property for $6,150. That was part of the tree removal as his continued upgrade of that property. Can we do this in sections? Because the next section I'd like to approve by itself as well. So could I have a motion to approve the grants unless people have questions?
I have a question. The Percy and Lily's property, what constituted him getting more than $7,500 for that project?
It wasn't a facade project, it was an upgrade project.
Okay, and
So
do we have
the-
a cap limit on that?
No, we don't. It's based upon what the project is, and the CEDC has been funding those at about 75%.
Okay.
What's your question, Alex?
That was the same.
Okay.
Exact same question.
All right. So the facade grants are basically limited to the downtown historic area. Now, Sam does reside in the historic district, but it was more than a facade. It's replacing all the windows, making them more winterproof, thus going to increase the property value of the house. Any- Sorry.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the CDC's recommendations for Sam Lilly and Farmington properties.
Second.
I have a motion from Joey, a second by Dave Rose. That is a roll call, please.
Fox,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next part of the recommendations that the CEDC put forward is some guidelines that we will use to fund projects moving forward. Number one, we will fund shovel-ready projects not finished. We want to be involved in the project from the beginning. We don't want somebody to finish project and then show up here and say, hey, we'd like to have some money. That was one of the first recommendations. Steve Klein was here from the Economic Development Group. He's also Jacob and Klein, and he is our TIF guru. Anytime we have questions, he's the person we call and ask. And Bettina works with Gwen out of his office frequently on many of these. Second recommendation that Steve said is that these residential grants, the projects must be completed within 180 days. The residential grant agreement is a redevelopment agreement that needs to be done in 180 days. If we're not going to make it, they need to ask for an extension. And then there is a full second page of the recommendations that talk about mural guidelines, especially in the downtown area, about what they need to look like, colors, artwork, how much advertisement, what size the advertisement, tasteful. That's just part of trying to keep our downtown as classy as we possibly can. Anybody have any questions about these things? Comments, concerns?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve their guidelines number 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you, Joey. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Second by Alex. That is a roll call, please.
Fox,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. That leads us to the next item, which is ordinance 2023-10 is the residential grant for fiscal year 24.
I'd like to make a motion that we read it by title only.
Thank you, Joey. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jenny. That for the second, that is a roll call, please.
Fox,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, this is your first reading of ordinance number 2023-10, City of Farmington, Illinois, approving and adopting fiscal year 24 residential rehabilitation program for Farmington Tax Increment Finance District. And this ordinance caps the total dollars for residential TIF grants at $75,000 for fiscal year 24.
I'd like to make a motion that we read ordinance number 2023-10 by title only.
We did that one already.
Waive.
Waive it. How about we waive the second
Oh,
one?
waive the second.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you, Joey. Second, was that you, Dave?
Yes.
Dave Rose. That's a roll call, please.
Bob's,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis.
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2023-10.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Rose. That's a roll call, please.
Bob's,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks. And like I said, this caps $75,000 for residential TIF grants. First time grant, $2,500. Every subsequent grant for that PIN number is $1,000. Next item I have is discussion possible action on the TIF facade grant for fiscal year 24.
I'd like to make a motion that we read ordinance number 2023-11 by title only.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nate. That is a roll call, please.
Bob's,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Thank you.
All right, this is your first reading on ordinance number 2023-11, City of Farmington, Illinois, approving and adopting fiscal year 2024 commercial facade renovation program for Farmington Tax Increment Financing District. And there is $30,000 for facade grants for fiscal 24.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the second reading of ordinance number 2023-11.
Thank you, Joey. Second by Nate. That is a roll call, please.
Bob's,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2023-11.
Second.
And a second by Jenny. That is a roll call, please.
Bob's,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Gillis,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Thank you.
All right, thanks, folks. Next item I have under new business is a discussion on what type of monies the council would like to place in a non-TIF residential grant. So for the last 3 years, we've put $25,000 aside from general funds for people to apply for these grants that their properties do not reside within the TIF district. I think we've overshot it every year now by about $5,000 that we've come back and approved to fully fund. But I'm okay with coming back and saying, okay, we're done and finishing it off. But is everybody here comfortable putting that same $25,000? Is that a good number?
What happens to the money that doesn't get used? Where does it go?
It stays in the general fund.
Okay, so that just builds up over time.
So it's just in our general fund, we just earmarked $25,000 of it coming in for TIF grants, and then we keep a running total of
And
them.
then about like, I know you might not know an exact number, but last year, how much do you think of that 25,000 was used?
Oh, we plus 5,000.
Oh, plus five.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we ran over by about $5,000. We were down to the last two grants, and the CEDC made the recommendation that they go ahead and fund the difference, but then cut off applications. So the TIF does take up a very large part of Farmington, but there are pockets that are not. And we've seen, actually, I don't think we used all of the residential money this year. We used all of the the non-TIF addresses this year, actually. And this is just money that we earmark, you know, the TIF generates its own money so that it's really not money out of our general fund, but it wasn't fair that those that didn't live in the TIF didn't have these opportunities. So this gave them the opportunity, and the city's in a place where we can fund it right now, as long as you guys still want to.
Question, what was there a cap on how much someone could apply for?
So they're $2,500 grants. Yeah, so it works the same as the residential. We actually use the same application.
Okay.
It's just about whether they live within the TIF or not. So first time you apply for one, you're eligible for $2,500 or 75% of the project if it's not that much. Every subsequent grant after that is capped at $1,000 for that PIN number.
Sure.
I think we still need to continue that.
Well, the discussion only. He's gonna have to write me an ordinance.
That's
So,
what I would say as
So-
well, because before I sat here, I used it every year that you offered it. It made a huge difference in updating my house.
it's $25,000. Everybody good with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so can you write me an ordinance?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Final piece of new business tonight is Spin City Spin City Laundromat and Bar is interested in a beer garden. I provided the entire application to you guys. You've got some input, correct? You got a phone call today, or?
Yeah, there are some citizens concerned with the noise level. They are worried that there will be bands late at night. I know that he had said that he's wanting more space to make it like a smoking space for the customers that they can go outside. He did not give any intentions on having bands or anything like that, but I know that in the neighborhood, the noise is a concern.
The question to follow up on that. So if we approve the beer garden, even though his intentions aren't, he could still have bands once we approve it, correct?
There,
I'm going to defer to you on this.
So, can you repeat that?
So he's stating it's just a place for people to smoke and maybe, put their drink outside while they're smoking. There won't be any bands or loud music, or I think he even said in here, he didn't think that there would be any noise level really. After if we approve it on that basis, could he still then, a month or two down the road, say, I'm gonna have a band?
Great question. So, do you have your code there, the liquor code? So, does
Yeah.
it say anything about music?
it does not. It says a supplemental license shall be obtained for the retail sale of alcoholic beverages in an outdoor cafe or sidewalk restaurant adjacent to the licensed premises. The supplemental license will be limited to the hours of 11 o'clock a.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 11 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock midnight Friday and Saturday.
In all honesty, though, I think that their liquor license, as far as for the capacity, they wouldn't be on the whole one because there's gonna be people going in and out. I would assume that they would still have to ask us for permission for something like that, for an outside venue for a band.
There is a one-day permit that is available for,
Nickel plate is on usually our parking.
but whenever they do anything outside, there is a one-day permit that they did apply for one recently.
Every time they have a band, they have to have a one-day permit
Outside.
Outside.
So would that apply possibly for him?
You have to apply for a permit.
Yeah. Well, because,
My issue is
You know-
that it is so close to residential property. Nickel Plate has some, but for the most part, it's contained downtown, in like the downtown area. You know,
It shoots it right down.
I know, I understand that, but
It-
you know what?
So he's only talking about 10 by 15 foot space. I'm not
Yeah,
even
you've been
sure.
in there, it's tiny, I can't imagine where we have to ever fit, I just like to cover the basis, if people are already saying, that we don't want noise, that if we allow it, that it doesn't turn into a situation like we've had before.
So you're the liquor control commissioner.
I am.
So if you want to limit his license based on his drawing and the proximity to residential, I just put it right in his license. That he would have to get a special, separate permit for any outdoor live entertainment.
So we could approve this license with the caveat that if he wants outdoor entertainment, then he has to come and obtain permission.
From you. Because even one person with an acoustic guitar and a little bit of a microphone can make quite a bit of noise.
Correct, yes.
The walls are right, and the wind's blowing right.
No, I know.
Question.
Yes, Chuck?
That, the noise ordinance that she read off. Who is that?
This is all part of our liquor
Liquor
code.
license.
Well, she read off the ordinance for noise. Is
Well,
that
For liquor
just-
that's,
just
that's
for-
within the liquor
That doesn't
code.
apply to any other.
We have another ordinance.
We probably have other,
We do have another-
we have other nuisance ordinances.
Okay, that's all.
And did we go through all this when, Whiskey Dixie's?
Yeah, I was not involved, I actually was in the audience for that. Yes, they went through the
Whole thing.
exact same thing.
There was a lot of stipulations that he had to have,
Yes,
distance wise and height and noise and.
And
Yes.
you had to obtain a permit every time you have an
And I
outdoor.
think
But-
they have to have,
Because that was our part.
but I think, even for his smoking area, that had to have there has to be two ways of egress, and the walls have to be a certain height.
privacy,
A latch on the fence.
There has to be a latch, and
hold on, privacy. Whiskey Dixie, you couldn't see in,
Yeah, that's the height of the fence.
nickel plate, you can see in, if they have a band. or
but that's a whole different ballgame. They've applied for a festival permit for that, so.
Right. They chose not to put up a fence. Their fence is just a middle.
Well, they have chosen not to call that a beer garden either, so.
If he wants to call this a beer garden, so yeah.
So people can still take their drinks out with them, or if they'd like to sit outside.
And
they
part
can-
of that is you have to be able to enter and exit it back into the bar. You can't go into a public area to enter
Right.
the beer garden. So you have to enter the beer garden through the bar itself. But there has to be a separate egress in case they need it. So there has to be a door available of some sort.
So his drawing wouldn't work. Because they're showing a 51-inch gap, so you can still enter in the main door. On the north side of the building.
Well, we can kick this back to him as well and bring this back to ask for more clarification.
Well, he probably doesn't realize that he has to be able to enter the beer garden
Yeah,
from a separate.
I had that conversation with him on Thursday?
And he had a copy of these rules.
Yep.
He already had this drawn up.
Yep.
I think
So-
he'll modify it.
If everybody's in agreement, why don't we just table this and we bring this back in 2 weeks and we'll get with Rob for some more clarification. How's that sound? All right, that's the end of new
Tip
business.
report.
What's that?
Tip report.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda.
Okay.
Don't blame me. That leads us to committee reports, and I know you guys have just gotten these committees, so, Jenny, do you have anything finance and ordinance wise?
Yeah.
Thank you. Joey, anything public safety wise?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And Nate, I know you're new to the sewer, but anything to add?
No, sir.
All right. Alex, you're just new in general, but you.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Leslie with Parks and Rec.
The only thing I'd like to say is that unfortunately, David Jacobs passed away on May 1st. And I, on behalf of the city, I sent his wife Donna a sympathy card. For the ones that don't know, David Jacobs, his father was Dr. Jacobs, and Westwood Jacobs Park is at him. So he was very dear in my heart.
That's a shame. Thank you for sending the card, Leslie. That leaves you, Dave, Public Grounds and Buildings.
That would be your report, sir.
Very good.
Last one.
No, we don't have to read that. It's over.
Oh my gosh.
Motion to.
No, we've got general comments yet. I know. All right, nobody? Then go.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Thanks, folks.
Teresa, just in there.
I had things for you. I can call you later. You think I